60 Minutes Overtime.
Who would have believed that Americans would line up by the millions to pay $4 for a cup of coffee? Who would have imagined we'd go into a coffee shop and casually ask for a double tall, one pump, vanilla skim caramel macchiato? What the heck is a macchiato anyway? Well, the guy who did believe is Howard Schultz, the star of Starbucks. Schultz is given to leaps of imagination. He had to be. He started out as a poor kid in Brooklyn who sold his own blood just to get through college. Today, as head of a $29 billion multinational corporation, Schultz is not without his critics. Some mockingly call Starbucks $4. But when we met Schultz, we found a salesman and a showman who is creating his own subculture and intends to take the whole world along. At the Starbucks headquarters in Seattle, they don't drink coffee like you and me. That's Howard Schultz analyzing each slurp as though he's letting you in on a secret.
You taste that earthiness like a Bordeaux wine.
That is pretty good.
That's something.
That is something. Here, people called coffee masters talk about finding romance and passion in a cup like they were cream and sugar. Schultz has brewed up a coffee culture that's sometimes a little hard to swallow.
One of our colleagues coined a phrase a long time ago and said, "We're not in the business of filling bellies. We're in the business of filling souls."
Oh, now come on. No, wait a minute. That's too, but this is a company. This is a corporation.
Okay,
Come on.
it is a corporation.
You're blowing smoke now.
No, I mean, this is how we feel. You might say, okay, they're full of crap and you know, this is how we feel. We're in the business of human connection and humanity, creating communities in a third place between home and work.
I've got to tell you, I've been kicking around your headquarters here for the last couple of days, and I will admit, if you'll let me use a different beverage metaphor,
okay,
the people around here really seem to be drinking the Kool-Aid. They really seem to be completely steeped, to use another beverage metaphor, in this philosophy bit.
But it's not a cult. This is a corporation. It is a for-profit business. But our approach for 30 plus years has been unique and different. Not better, just different.
That approach created a company that now doubles its sales every 3 years. How many stores are you opening as we speak?
We have 11,000 stores in 37 countries. It's an unbelievable number to me, to be honest with you. We're opening 5 new stores a day.
That's a new store every 5 hours, 24/7.
Yeah.
There really are Starbucks across the street from each other. They do that to cut down on the lines. Starbucks says it has 40 million customers a week, 40 million, and it brews 227 million gallons of coffee a day. The operation that feeds that monster is massive. Have a look at this roasting plant that we toured outside Seattle. They ship in green coffee beans from 28 countries. This plant will go through up to 2 million pounds of beans in a week. And there are 4 plants just like this one. Starbucks has become so pervasive, it's spliced itself into the national DNA.
Starbucks! One day, every house in America will have their own private plumbing to Starbucks.
Can I help you?
I'd like to get my ear pierced.
Well, better make it quick, kiddo. In 5 minutes, this place is becoming a Starbucks.
Starbucks sucks! Starbucks sucks!
There is a bit of a Starbucks blowback.
Sure.
Rolling into town, crushing the life out of the mom and pop coffee shop.
Yeah. We are so different, and when people understand that, they welcome us. For example, first off, we created an industry that did not exist. And in our wake, the momentum of Starbucks, so many local and regional companies and mom and pops have not only surfaced, but succeeded.
Still, Schultz has felt the wrath of anarchists who trashed a Seattle store in an anti-globalization riot. There is a criticism, and you've heard it, that Starbucks is homogenizing the world, that you're taking the culture out of places in China and Japan and Americanizing them.
I've heard that.
And it irritates you.
It's not that it irritates me, it's just, it's off base.
And when people say you're an evil empire bent on world domination, you say...
I hate that. I hate that. But I realize you're always going to have critics.
The story will continue after this.
This is the original Starbucks, a small store with no big plans. It opened in 1971 on Seattle's seafront. Starbuck is the name of a character in the novel Moby Dick. Here, in the Pike Place Market, there's salt in the air and salmon too.
Another one.
Schultz came here as an appliance salesman, pushing coffee makers. He stopped at Starbucks to make a sales call.
When I walked in this store for the first time, I know this sounds really hokey, and I knew I was home.
So he quit his job and went to work in the store, which at the time was selling just beans and machines. Adding an espresso bar was his idea. A few years later, he was offered a chance to buy Starbucks, which by then had grown to 6 Seattle stores. He set out to find investors.
If I came to you in 1987 and I said to you, even though coffee consumption in America is down, I want to build a company that was going to sell coffee not in a porcelain cup, but in a paper cup, with Italian saying words that no one could pronounce, for $3 a cup of coffee, would you invest?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, you would have had a lot of company.
But if I had invested $10,000 at the start, it would be worth more than $5 million today. How did he do it? With marketing and salesmanship and even, he admits, a little hype.
But please tell America and
Yeah.
the rest of the world why the small drink is called a tall.
Well, I think, when you walk into a store, you don't want to say, give me a small. You want to say, give me a tall. And so there's a little bit of marketing in there.